Omakanatimidandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Tadhati Shapadantikam Vandehang Shri Guru Shri Jatapada Kamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lodita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kamshana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Krishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hodi Priye Vancha Kolpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhobhye Vacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Can we put this on the side? Sthane Rishikesha Tava Prakirtya Jagat Parishyatya Nurajyate Cha Rakshanksi Bhitani Dashodravanti Sarve Namashanti Tacha Siddha Sangha. This is a verse spoken by Arjuna after seeing the Vishwarupa, the universal form of Krishna. Krishna was playing as the charioteer of Arjuna, although Krishna is in fact the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just out of affection for his devotee, the Lord took the position of charioteer. This is Krishna. He's no one is equal to him, no one is greater than him, and yet he takes the position of servant of his devotee. But after hearing from Krishna, Arjuna's bewilderment was dispelled. He understood everything properly. And he asked Krishna, could you please show me your universal form? The universal form is described in the 11th chapter. Ihai kastam jagat kritsnam pasyadya sacharachuram mama dehe gurakesha yadchanyad drashtamijchasi. In this form you can see everything. Our form you don't see much. 2 arms, 2 legs, a head, a torso. But in the universal form of Krishna, One can see everything in the universe. Ihai custom, all in one place. Although it's spread throughout the universe, it's all visible in one place. How is that possible? It's possible by Krishna's Yoga-Maishwaram, mystic power. We can't do it, but Krishna can do it. That's Krishna. So, Arjuna requested, please show me. Because there are so many bogus Bhagavans, bogus gods. Some, they claim to be God on their own say-so, or by virtue of little magic tricks that a common magician can do. And fools are impressed. Oh, he produced a stone, he produced a ring, he produced a this, he produced a that. I have a devotee friend who's a magician, and he was watching a video of one of those Bhagavans. He said he's not even a good magician. Good magician means you can't tell how he's doing the trick. He said, but this one's easy. Anyone can see. So what to speak of being God? They're not even a good magician. But what Krishna showed, no one else can show. All the universe in one place. And then it's described all the devas, all the demigods, all the powers of the universe, everything. If 1,000,000 suns were to rise in the sky all at once, their effulgence might resemble that of the universal form. Hugely powerful form. And while standing on the chariot, Krishna just manifested all this. This is Krishna. Then Krishna showed how he's also death personified. That's also another feature of Krishna, because for those who don't accept the unlimited power of God, all right, here's God for you. What is God? God means that he's everywhere and all-powerful. So if I'm an atheist, I don't believe there's any such God. All right, here's God for you. Death is all-pervading. Death is all-powerful. So here's your God. Everyone has to submit. No one can tell death, I don't believe in you. I don't care. So that's another feature of Krishna. And after seeing all of these great and powerful manifestations, Arjuna speaks this verse. Stane Rishikesha Tava Prakirtya. Rishikesha, he addresses Krishna as the master of all the senses. We have our senses, our eyes, our ears, our tongues. Ultimately, they belong to Krishna. I say that these are my eyes, but they only work because Krishna enables them to work. Krishna makes an arrangement. He provides light. If there's no light, the eyes are useless. You can't see anything. You need your eyes, you need the light, and something to see also. So this is all made possible by Krishna. He can also take away the powers of the senses. So Rishikesha, in the Rupa Goswami says, definition of bhakti, Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. Sarvopadi Vinirmuktam Tatpratena Nirmalam. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. What is bhakti? Sometimes bhakti is said to be love, the yoga of devotion. But that sort of sells bhakti short, as if it were just a kind of sentiment. But in fact, it's practical. It's practical. And Srila Prabhupada would use the word scientific, methodical. Sarva upadi vinirmuktam. The first thing is to give up our false conceptions of ourselves. I'm American, I'm Indian, I'm white, I'm black, I'm Jones, I'm Smith, I'm Shah, I'm Patel, I'm this, I'm that, I'm old, I'm young, I'm thin, I'm fat. No, I'm not this body to which all those designations could be applied. So they have nothing to do with me. I'm not this body. I'm not this body. These are called upadis, just false designations of the self. So we're meant to become freed from these upadis. By chanting Hare Krishna, we come to a higher platform and we realize I'm not this body, I'm the soul, consciousness, Atma, within the body. And tatpratena nirmalam. In this way, one comes to pure consciousness. Pure consciousness means jnana karmadya navritam. Freed from striving after gratification of our own senses, freed from wandering about in the world of mental speculations about the truth, and understanding reality from the Supreme Reality, Krishna. When one understands, just as Arjuna understood, Param Brahma, Param Tham, Pavitram, Paramam Pavan, Purusham Shashvatam Divyam, Adi Devam, Ajam Vibhum. You're the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You're the Supreme Truth. Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, the Supreme Abode of everything. You're the most pure. You're the ultimate. You're the Supreme Divine Person, the origin of everything. So with this understanding of Krishna, Rishikena, Rishikesha Sevanam, we are meant to use our senses for the pleasure of Krishna's senses. Now I'm trying to please my own senses. And the result is that my senses are never pleased. Or they're pleased for the moment and they say, all right, that was all right, now what's next, what's next, what's next? It means atripta, not satisfied. Tripyanti neha. Not satisfied. We go on, we try this, we try that, they advertise this, so we buy that, we experience that, this, that, and still we're not satisfied. And as we become older, we become less and less capable of becoming satisfied through the senses because the senses don't work. The senses lose their vitality. So sense gratification becomes a disappointing proposition. Just like the power to eat. In old age, you can't really eat so much. Your doctor doesn't want you to eat this, he doesn't want you to eat that, you can't eat this, you can't eat that, and whatever you do eat, yeah, then you have to digest it, which is work. Young man can eat and eat, little young boy can eat and eat, old man can't really get so much happiness that way. And so it is with all the senses. So if we built our life on happiness for the senses, and now the senses are unhappy no matter what, then we spoiled our investment. We wasted our time. We wasted our energy. We wasted our money. We wasted our life. So it's a useless way of living, a false and foolish goal. I'll be happy by pursuit of happiness. My independent program for happiness will fail. It's always failed. It will continue to fail. Because we're not independent by nature. The hand's attempt to be happy by putting as much food in its palm as possible and holding on to it will never be never succeed. The hand has to put the food in the stomach, and then the hand will be happy. Because the hand is just a part of the whole body. It's not the whole picture itself. So Rishikesha, Krishna, by our senses, Rishikena, we're meant to serve Krishna's senses. That will bring happiness. When even we experience, if I just try to enjoy for myself, I get something, but it's not very satisfying. If I try to give pleasure to my family, I get a little more happiness. The wife is happy, the kids are happy, I feel more happy. That's also limited, but little more. Then if I do some service for my community, then I feel still more, yes, I did something for the community, for the town, for the group. And maybe I extend that. I start a humanitarian foundation, or I join some cause for upliftment of others. And I feel that, oh, so many people I'm helping. But that also still is limited. So as the circles become larger, I feel more satisfaction. When I get to the ultimate, largest possible circle, when I get to Krishna, I'll feel the greatest happiness, or absolute happiness, because now I'm serving the complete whole. I was serving a part. If I was serving America, it was to the detriment of some other country. If I was serving my family, it's in competition with your family. If I'm serving this cause, I'm not serving that cause. If I make these people happy, those people aren't happy. If I'm serving all humanity, the animals are still suffering. But if I serve Krishna, then it's like pouring water on the root of the tree. The whole tree is watered. So this is bhakti, to use my senses to please Krishna's senses. Then my senses will get the greatest happiness. Because now I'm in my natural position. This is what I am. I'm a part. When the hand feeds the body, the hand, it gets the greatest possible enjoyment. So, Arjuna addresses Krishna as Rishikesha. Tava prakirtya. Hearing your, kirtya means glories. Just like here we're chanting the holy name of Krishna, we're speaking something about Krishna's qualities and form and powers and so on. This is called kirtan. So prakirtya, intense glorification, or yes, the great glorification of Krishna. Hearing about your wonderful glories, that's a good way to put it. Hearing about your wonderful glories, jagat pravishyati. The whole world becomes happy. We can hear so many ordinary topics, and they become stale. The novels, the fiction, the movies, the newspapers. Try an experiment. I mean, just you don't have to try an experiment, just think about it. We read the newspaper. Whichever newspaper it is, online or in print. Maybe we spend 10 minutes just glossing the headlines, or maybe we get into it and spend half an hour, whichever section, politics or sports or human interest stories. If it's the New York Times, it's so well written that you can spend an hour going through the whole newspaper. On Sunday, you can spend more time. And at the end, how do you feel? Do you feel full of joy? Do you feel ecstasy? Do you feel enlightened? Do you feel that you've come so much closer to your ultimate purpose in life? Do you just feel so much better after reading the... No. Perhaps we feel worse. Perhaps we feel that we've wasted our time. Perhaps we don't feel anything. Perhaps we have some ideas or thoughts or pictures sort of buzzing around in our mind. But none of those other desired results. It's just kind of, okay, I read it. That means it's dull. And the next day I wrap my garbage in it. Because these are just stale topics of the dead material world. They're just hackneyed topics of the material energy. But when we hear about Krishna, then we're hearing topics from the spiritual platform. We're hearing topics of the ultimate, unlimited absolute. We're hearing about the source of all pleasure, all knowledge, all existence. So by hearing Bhagavad Gita, we actually become joyful. Sthane Hrishikesha Tava Prakirtya Jagat Parishyati. The whole world becomes joyful by hearing your glories. Therefore, the Hare Krishna movement is distributing the glories of Krishna. It makes us happy and it makes others happy. And not superficially, temporarily happy, but it spreads happiness by uncovering our eternal connection with the truth, with the absolute truth, with Krishna. So Arjuna says, by hearing your glories, the whole world becomes joyful, and anurajyatecha, and becomes attached to you. When we hear, how do these people become attached to Krishna? These Hare Krishna people, how have they become attached to Krishna? Or so many great sages and devotees, how have they become attached to Krishna? It's by hearing. By hearing about Krishna, one develops natural attraction for Krishna. The very meaning of Krishna is all attractive. When we hear about some ordinary person, we may become a little attracted because he's very intelligent, or because he's got a lot of money, or because he's powerful, strong, beautiful, or just detached, a person who can leave everything behind. All of these things may attract us. We read about that and we think, oh. But Krishna has all of these things unlimitedly. All beauty, all knowledge, all wealth, all fame, all detachment, all strength, everything. So by hearing about Krishna, one becomes attracted to Krishna. The practical example is there that Rukmini, the daughter of King Bhishmaka, became attracted to Krishna. She'd never met Krishna, but she just heard about Krishna because great sages used to visit her father's palace, father's court, and they would speak something about Krishna. So her mind became attracted to Krishna, that's all. And she decided, I have to become the queen of Krishna, no one else. Just by hearing. And there are many other such examples by which only hearing was enough. So that also we're doing. We're hearing about Krishna from books like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And if we go on hearing, we'll become attracted to Krishna. Why? Because that's natural for us. As spiritual beings, it's natural for us to be attracted to our source, Krishna. Only because of being covered by layers of illusion, we're forgetting Krishna. We're thinking, what does Krishna have to do with me? Maybe he's some sort of mythological god, or I don't really know what he is, but anyway, whatever. But when we hear about Krishna and our consciousness becomes cleansed, purified, naturally we become attracted to Krishna. Naturally we become attracted to Krishna. That's called Tat Pratena Nirmalam, pure consciousness. So again, this chanting, this hearing of Krishna topics, this reawakens our natural state of being attracted to Krishna. The alternative is to be attracted to non-Krishna. Non-Krishna means Maya. Maya means that which has no substantial existence. So at the present moment, I'm attracted to so many things belonging to Maya, and therefore I'm in trouble. I'm attracted to something like the deer that runs out into the desert because it sees water out there. There's no water, but by illusion, the deer thinks there is and dies. So we're attracted to this, we're attracted to that, which has no substantial reality and just gets us deeper in. But this transcendental vibration, Hare Krishna, or the topics of Krishna, pulls us out. So, anurajyate, we become attracted to Krishna. And this is that's Krishna consciousness, simply to be attracted to Krishna and free from attraction to Maya, non-Krishna. So, by this hearing process, but rakshamsi bhitani dishodravanti. Krishna says, namasyanti cha siddha sankha, all the assembled perfect beings, when they hear your glories, they offer their homage to you, they glorify you. There's only one section that's not attracted. Rakshamsi bhitani dishodravanti. Rakshasas means the vicious materialists. Not even the ordinary conditioned soul, not the ordinary materialist, but Rakshasa. Rakshasa, sometimes it can mean man-eater, or it just means, it can mean those who are just demonic. We all know of such people. And you can, according to the country that you come from, you'll have your own idea. Generally, like the Pol Pots and the Hitlers and so on are generally agreed upon as being demonic. Like, what are they, like beasts, animals, just vile people, evil. So then according to what countries, like some people will think that our president is vicious. Some people will think the opposing president is vicious. There's different opinions. My own opinion is they're all, anyway, I won't tell you my own opinion. But Rakshamsi, there are people who are so vicious that they're called demons. I'll give you just a practical example. There was a court case in Canada, and it was a class action suit against a tobacco company, maybe Liggett and Myers, one of the big tobacco companies. And somehow or other, the attorneys for the defense thought it wise to enter into evidence a marketing plan from their marketing department. But they did so in error because the plan disclosed that they were deliberately targeting teenagers. Perhaps you know there was a brand, Camel cigarettes, and showing kind of a cartoony camel. Some professors right here at UCSD, in fact, did a study and found that among children, the most recognized cartoon character was Mickey Mouse, and number 2 was Joe Camel. This was not an accident. This was the result of serious investment for years by a powerful American corporation. And that powerful American corporation, along with its competitors, know more about the effects of tobacco than anyone in the world. When the rest of the world was wondering whether tobacco caused cancer, they knew and were paying doctors to say the opposite. They knew it caused cancer. They knew it caused tuberculosis. They knew so much. And yet, they were spending millions to get young people, young teenagers, not the 16, 18, the 12, 13, 14, to pick up their brand. Because once you've chosen your brand, that's it for life. And if you're 18 and it's too late already, you're already smoking the other guy's brand, and we've lost. So we've got to get to you early. So they're selling death to kids to make money. What is that? Is it vile? Is it vicious? So this is called Rakshasas. Rakshasim asurim chaiva prakritim mohanim shrita. They're so bewildered by illusion that they'll do anything for their own sense gratification. Let others suffer. It's our business. Rakshasas. So in the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, there's an extended discussion of this. Krishna says there are two natures, Daivi Prakriti and Asuri Prakriti. The divine nature, godly nature, and demonic nature. And we find people who are by nature godly. The old-fashioned term is God-fearing, but inclined towards spirituality. And then we find those who are just, whatever I can do as long as I can. So when Krishna shows his glories, or when his glories are broadcast by great souls, the whole world becomes happy except for the Rakshasas. Rakshamsi Bhitani, it's described here. The word is Bhitani. Not only don't they like it, they're afraid of it. If Krishna's glories are spread, it's like cockroaches when the lights go on. we don't thrive in the light, we thrive in the darkness. So when light appears in the form of Krishna consciousness, they scatter. Even sometimes when our devotees go out chanting, we see there's a section of people who walk by. And if possible, they'll walk on the other side of the street. They just don't like it. Aversion to Krishna. Rakshamsi Bhitani Dishodravanti means they scatter in every direction. Stane Rishikesh, Krishna, Arjuna says this is all as it should be. There'll be those who will be attracted to you, there'll be those who want nothing to do with you. It's according to our choice. According to our choice. Srila Prabhupada one time was doing a fire ceremony in New Vrindavan in West Virginia. And in the course of the ceremony, he took a little stick and dug into the sand a little bit and picked it up and said, "This is very instructive." What was that? On the stick there were some dead moths. Srila Prabhupada said that the fire does not jump out at the moth. The moth, being attracted to the fire, rushes in. So these are the Rakshasas, the vicious, the foolish. They rush in to the false enjoyment of the material energy and destroy themselves ultimately. Their death comes for them, and they don't know to what lower species of life they're going to be hurled. Because this one life is not everything. We have millions of lifetimes. After millions of lifetimes, they've gotten this human form. Now they're using it for that. Down again. Down again. So this is the opportunity. It's understood that the Rakshasas don't come to the Hare Krishna temple. Maybe sometimes they gather outside and throw stones or something, but they don't come for the kirtan. They don't come and sit to hear about Krishna. The godly persons, those who have some attraction to spiritual life or to Krishna, come. So that means everyone who's come is very fortunate. You've all got this human life. You're in America where life is not so terribly difficult. They're not throwing bombs on your head or anything like that. We have all sorts of facilities, modern conveniences and amenities. And we have access to these books, to these teachings, to the association of Krishna's devotees. So this is our chance. Our life will last for what? 20 years, 50 years, 100 years is a big deal. And then it's over. And then we have to go someplace else. But now, therefore it said, Tadapi Adruvam Artadam. The life will be gone faster than we think. But it can give us the greatest benefit. Eternal benefit, permanent benefit, transcendental benefit. So an intelligent person should grab that opportunity, and capitalize on it. All these assets we have, the human life, the opportunity to associate with devotees, to hear about Krishna, to read about Krishna. If we take these things seriously, take up this Bhakti Yoga, Krishna consciousness, Rishikesha Seva very seriously, we can make our life successful in this life and in the next. So that's our purpose, and for that reason, this temple is here, and the devotees are here, and you're also here. So we can consider ourselves fortunate and endeavor to become more and more fortunate. Hare Krishna. Are there some comments, some questions, something? Yes?
You were talking about demonic beings. You're talking about demonic beings, and then we have the example of Jagai and Madhai.
A little closer.
We have the example of Jagai and Madhai talking, who came across Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and through his mercy and embrace, they were transformed. So it seems that somehow, perhaps you need that level of mercy and that level of grace, that somehow even Asuri individuals can be transformed.
Yes. Dinahina yatachilo hariname uddharilo. In previous ages, the Krishna came, paratranaya sadhunam vinashaya chaduskritam. He just protects the devotees and smashes the demons, kills them, annihilates them. But in this age, he annihilates the demonic nature and uplifts even the asuras. Dinahina yatachilo harinam. By the power of this Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Something else? Okay. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.